seeing the change that can happen in a month, it's incredible. Good morning, sweet friend. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Maylin Call from Mrs. Call's Campers. If you're new here, I'm a kindergarten and first grade teacher in Northern California. Today is Cookie Butter Monday, so I did make myself a cookie butter latte. Some of you guys messaged me and asked if you could do it with an espresso machine, and I said, I'm not really sure, but someone did say they successfully did it and that the espresso that comes out of the espresso machine is hot enough to melt it. So if you pick up some cookie butter and you have an espresso machine, you can try it with us. Okay, today is Monday morning. It's going to be such a fun week. I feel like I'm just going to be running on coffee all week. I actually just sprayed that perfume in my mouth. That is so good. Okay, oh, I have some stuff to share with you that I'm really excited about. So first, my mother-in-law will occasionally browse my Amazon wish list and send us some things. So she sent this book. It's called Something's Wrong, and I haven't read it, but I've heard really good things. It is by Jory John, so same author who wrote The Good Egg, The Cool Bean, all those books. So I'm excited to sneak this book in somewhere. And she sent us these pop-up post-it notes, which I am really excited about because I have this little rose gold pop-up dispenser thing and I'm out of pop-it post-it notes, and I love this little post-it note dispenser. It's so much easier than like the actual just like having the pad of, I know, first world problems, right? But I love this dispenser and I have not replaced my pop-it post-it notes because you have to buy the special kind of post-it notes that like it like pops them out. You guys know what this is, but I'm really excited that she got us some of these because I've been wanting them for so long, and it's one of those things. It's like I don't want to buy post-it notes, you know. So this is here. This is making me happy. And then I don't know how to pronounce your name, so I'm just gonna say it a bunch of ways. Thank you, Shania. Thank you, Shania. Thank you, Shania. I don't know how to say it, but hopefully one of those is right. Thank you so much. She sent over this book, Happy Sad Today, which is a social emotional book, and I'm really excited for this one. Here's a peek inside, beautiful illustrations. I feel like social emotional learning this year is especially important with everything going on, so I'm really grateful for this book, and if we have extra time this week, we might just read it this week. She also sent some games, and I love these kind of puzzle games. The classroom I was in last year had a couple of them, and I obviously didn't like take them. I ended up buying some simple CBC puzzles like this. Thank you for donating those to our classroom. My kids this year are not really a big fan of the like printed puzzles that I have from TPT. They just, the ones in the task card boxes, at least my kindergartners, aren't as interested in them, or maybe they're not interested in them yet, but I know they're gonna love these, and it'll be a great way to mix up our word work centers. So thank you so much for that. I just realized the exposure was really high. I need to do a couple of things before school today, but this week is gonna be so laid back because we have 2 field trips, Wednesday and Friday, and then Tuesday is picture day. And so we're not gonna get a whole lot done. It's just gonna be a fun week. We're gonna do what we can. I'm gonna be working right now on our weekly PowerPoint, and I need to print a couple of things just for kinder math, really. We're gonna be doing Primary Scouts Count and Craft with candy corn, so I'm gonna print the little sheets for them. So yeah, that's what I'm that's what I'm gonna be doing. I think the one thing that really just kind of like irks me is that we don't have like a set chunk of time for planning. Like my kids have a 20-minute recess, and then they have lunch, and then a 20-minute recess. So we have 40 minutes, but it's like split, and usually with lunch I'll just stay in the lunch with the first grade team and we'll eat in there for the whole time. So like that's kind of hard because in years past I've always kind of had that time, and when my kids go to specials this year, we have to stay in there with them because I think some of the teachers aren't like credentialed teachers, so we have to be in there, and I'm like, I wish I could like do other things, but that's like the one thing that I'm like, that kind of stinks. As all these things that normally I would have time to get done, I don't have time to get done. All right, I will see you in just a second. It's after school on Monday. I'm currently eating a banana. These little creepy underwear retellings came out so cute. They did, well, first graders, we all drew together the beginning, middle, and end. Then first graders wrote a sentence, and this was great. I guess I did not have the book, Creepy Pair of Underwear. I guess I only have Creepy Carrots, so I ordered it this morning. But I projected screenshots of the book on my TV, and then using my projector hooked up to my iPad, I did the app Novel Effect and had the sound effects, and they were really good for this book. But they really enjoyed the book, and they thought this little Jasper retelling was super cute. So we talked about the beginning, middle, and end as a class. We drew it as a class. I had the kindergartners go off in color, and then with first graders, like I said, we wrote a sentence, and I had them do a lot of this on their own. I've been trying to give them lots and lots of support and kind of just backtracking everything that they should have learned in kindergarten, but last year was a really hard year. So much support. I've been giving them so much support. So the beginning, I did a dictated sentence and helped them. For the middle, we started it together, and then I dictated the rest and they wrote it. He tried to get rid of his underwear. And then for the end, I told them they needed to write and come up with their own sentence. And what did this little girl say? He likes his underwear. He hung up his underwear. And for this writing, it was really nice because there were a lot of, there was R blends, there were secrets. We actually learned 2 new secrets today. We learned the or secret, which you can see in this little house right here. And then we learned the ing, ang, ong, ung secret, and they were excited that they got to learn 2 secrets today. So after my literacy lesson with first grade, which again, I'm reviewing R blends because it's really tricky, and we did our shared reading, those secrets came up in our story. So of course I gave them the secrets, and now they know them and they love using them. So loving that for us. I think right now, if I'm being totally honest with you guys, I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed just because, well, this week is, like I keep saying, it's going to be pretty easy, and we have field trips, but like just everything that you have to think about when it comes to field trips is pretty overwhelming. Then the other big thing is I have so many assessments that I feel like I have to get done. And in a normal year, assessments have never bothered me when I was just teaching first or when I was just teaching kindergarten. But now I have to give kindergarten assessments and I have to give first grade assessments. So for kinder, I think it's all in ESGI. I'm not sure. I honestly, now I need to go double check. But then for first grade, we have all of these paper assessments that I have to give. And then we have 6 ESGI assessments, which I guess some of those we just put in the scores from here. But anyways, it's a lot of assessments. And I'm like, oh, great. We might not even do centers next week. But it's also hard to like teach new content and then assess. So I don't know what I'm gonna do next week, but I just wanted to come on here and share that assessment time is overwhelming for me. So the paper ones for first grade, in case you're curious, are write to 120, just seeing how far they get, which it's funny though, because when I did first grade, my first year of teaching, we just had like, I think for the first one, write numbers to like 30 or 50 or something. Like we didn't give them the whole 120 chart to start, but that'll be interesting. And then I have chapter 1 math test, which is addition, chapter 2 math test, which is subtraction. Then we have, I guess, fluency and comprehension, Wonders Unit 1 assessment, Wonders Unit 2 assessment, and then a separate addition assessment and a separate subtraction assessment. And I'm like, oh. I have a question about a walk to town. Do you have just 1 second? On the list of things that I do not want to do is hang up these monsters. I'm gonna put them on this window. I'm just gonna do it. Okay, that didn't take that long, and they do look super cute. It's about 3:20. I'm doing pretty good. I have some emails that I really need to catch up on, so I'm gonna do them from the comfort of my floor. It is picture day. I'm so excited. I have not had a picture day since my very first year teaching, so it's been like 3 years. I think 3 years. Yeah, 3 years since I've had a picture day. I actually wore this dress on my very first ever picture day. technically my only picture day because last year was COVID and we didn't do pictures. But I wanted to put a jean jacket with it because I have been loving jean jackets and I want to document this time in my life. Do you want to see my picture from my first year? It's just a picture of my classroom, but I'll show you because they are precious. Hold on. So we did school pictures and then we went back in the room and we took a picture in our classroom, and I honestly like this one a little bit more than the school picture because I don't know, it's in our classroom and they smile more naturally, I guess. And so I would love to do that this year. I feel like I'm gonna have a bunch of students who are absent, so I'm like, we need to like reschedule a class picture day. But one of my moms printed this from Class Dojo and put it in this frame. So there's me and then here's my cutie little class all those years ago. I think they're 4th graders now. Actually, one of my moms texted me last night, sent me a picture of one of my students, and she was like, she misses you. She watches your videos all the time. So Joyce, if you are watching, I miss you too. Love you so much. If any of you guys from my very first class are watching, or from my class last year, I miss you so much and love you. I hope you are having a fantastic year. I talked about this on my Instagram stories, but it's so hard for me because I have never gotten that experience of teaching 2 consecutive years in any school. First year was wonderful, and then we had to move because military. Last year school was terrible, and then I'm at the school I'm at this year. So I have not been able to see kids from past years, and it's kind of getting to me. I really wish I could just see them in the hallway or give them a little hug. That's currently how I'm feeling. I do still have all of my Class Dojo classes from previous years. They're archived, but I can just bring them back to life. So I want to send out a message to my class from last year, see if they want to get together, maybe do a little like dinner or, you know, some kind of little fun get together so I can see them again because I really do miss them. But yeah, today is Tuesday. Last night I was working on the activity thing that we're gonna do on Thursday because we are going to be comparing creepy carrots. So I decided that what I wanted to do was make like a big comparison craft. Like I had this vision in my head, so I planned it out in PowerPoint. I don't know if you could see on here, but this is my vision. To have Jasper, the main character. Ignore the blue square, that's the default color. But to have Jasper, it has all this stuff inside for comparing the stories. So this will be 1st grade, it has more writing, and this will be kindergarten, and just use resources again from primary scouts. But I thought this would be super cute. I just need to find like either a paper big enough, you know, that really long construction paper would be good, I think, or take 3 pieces of paper. But anyways, I thought that would be a really cute idea. If you like that idea, I'm sorry that it's gonna be the end of October when you see this. Maybe you can use it next year. I'm sorry. I feel like I always come up with the best ideas last minute. That's always how I've been. I also got this book sent to us, and I don't know if it's from Shania, I don't know how to say your name. I don't know if it's from you or if it's from my mother-in-law or if it's from someone else, but it was The Little Old Lady Who Was Not Afraid of Anything. This book is so fun and it's so funny, and I've never owned it, so I'm really excited. So if you send it to me, please let me know, because I always like to write who it's from in our book so I can remember forever and ever. So kindergarten's gonna be making a Creepy Details hat, and 1st grade is gonna be doing character changes. It's gonna be a pretty laid back day again, so looking forward to it. We survived picture day. Today was a pretty, like I said, it's a laid back day. It was a fun day. I did super simple things with kindergarten, with 1st grade, and we just kind of rolled through our day. So we did our read aloud. And today I used my Bluetooth microphone to my phone, and I read the book like this with it displayed up there, and they heard all of the fun sound effects. Kindergartners did a key detail hat picture thing. They made a cute little bunny hat with all the key details. 1st graders talked about character change. I also kind of started assessing my 1st graders, just writing numbers 1 through 20, and then math and kindergarten I'm just kind of like reviewing. Literally just numbers 1 through 10, counting, comparing, and using that vocabulary, which has more, which has less, greater, least, and counting on. We did a little counting on assessment. Here's one. I printed this super quick, but I just put some objects in the circle and I had them count it and then count on. So here is an example of what it looks like. I'm actually surprised because they're doing really, really well with counting on. So we practiced it with mini erasers, same kind of format, and did that. They did great. And we have a field trip tomorrow. I need to go to bed early tonight. I need to make a lot of coffee tomorrow. I feel like I'm ready, but I'm like kind of scared because I've never been, and so it's kind of hard not knowing what to expect. But you know, we're just gonna roll with it. It'll be fine. It'll be great. I have done a video in the past, what is in my field trip bag, if you want to see that video. This is the bag I normally take. It is a drawstring bag. However, the field trip we're going to is outside and it might rain. I always take a copy of their permission slips, and then if I need any like medical things like inhalers or things like that, EpiPens, I'll bring them. I don't need any this time. I always bring a copy of parent contact information, and then I always bring an extra shirt and bag just in case a kid throws up. I have not needed it yet, but I would feel so bad for a kid if they like threw up because they got sick on the bus and they had throw up on them. So I always bring this. Haven't had to use it yet, but you don't want to be, you know, you don't want to be that kid who has to wear their throw up shirt. You know, for some reason, it's something that I have to do. And then I always bring wipes. I need to probably get a fresh pack. I don't know if these are still moist because we didn't go on any field trips last year. Yeah, I need to get fresh wipes just in case. Plus, if they have snack or lunch and their hands are gross and there's not a water fountain, or sorry, if there's not a bathroom nearby, then, you know, it's always just good to have wipes. The other thing is I bring squirty hand sanitizer if I need to sanitize their hands. The spray sanitizer makes it super quick. I also have this just in case, and lotion is for me. Band-aids. That's all I normally bring. Also, the day before a field trip, I will give them a little bracelet that looks like this. It's literally just a piece of paper that I cut lengthwise. Lengthwise. And it just says, field trip tomorrow, wear spirit shirts. And I said the gray shirt. We're going to wear our tie-dye shirts on Friday when we go to our little pumpkin patch. But for tomorrow, because we have 2 field trips in 1 week, we're just going to wear our school shirts and that'll be fine. So I'm going to put all the papers that I need in a folder in my backpack. I also need to separate because I have 2 parent chaperones tomorrow, and then I have my aide, and then I have me. So I need to split my parents into 4 groups and make that list for my parents with times that we're going to be doing things. One of the kindergarten teachers gave me hers as an example, so that was nice. Oh, I forgot. The other thing that I always bring on field trips is something that is a small, easy time killer. So I'll probably bring our sight word cards just so we can review them. When I did first grade, I would bring our rhyme magic cards and go over those and do some of that. But because I'm a combo this year, I'm just going to bring our sight word cards that we can go over if we have some kind of like down awkward space of time, because that's when they can get kind of crazy, like if we're sitting for even 5 minutes waiting for lunch. So I'll bring these too. I'm just gonna throw it in here just so it's all in one place until I get my other backpack. I'll bring a smelly spot too, just as a reward if I need one for whatever reason. That's it for today. I'm gonna go home. I really need to be better about writing down those little things that happen throughout the day. My kids, like even today, I'm just not remembering because today was picture day. They were so stinking adorable. They were so sweet. They were also giving me compliments all day long about how cute I looked, and I was like, well, thank you, you too. Like, they're just the sweetest kids. And I tell them all the time, I'm like, how did I get so lucky? Because they genuinely are so sweet. And I always love picture day and seeing them all dressed up. I just love the way picture day feels. It just is a good feeling, fun, feel good day. They do so many funny things throughout the day, and I have to remember to write it down so I can share it with you. But I totally forgot to do that today, so I will see you tomorrow. Field trip day is here. We're wearing our school spirit shirts today. I actually went to the office to get a large, so it would be like a little bit longer on me today. I've got my s'mores coffee, and I actually have a little bit of things to do. 7:40 right now. I did sleep in today because I said there's no point in me getting there earlier. Wish I'd gotten here a little bit earlier, but that is okay. I do have a breakfast that I'm gonna eat as the kids kind of arrive. When they get here, I'm just gonna have them do some coloring pages. This is my old teacher bag, and the straps are super comfy. So my new teacher bag, my old teacher bag. Brought my lunch. I was gonna make peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and our bread was bad. I also brought this. I don't need this many snacks, but it's fine. I have a checkout form in case parents check out their children. We have a new schedule. I have wipes. Honestly, I'm probably going to move these wipes into a smaller bag so I don't have to take this whole thing. Hold on. For me, baby wipes are an essential. I also thought I had individual packs of tissues that I could bring, but I don't. Really wish I did though. Okay, so got some baby wipes. copy of my permission slips. My school also gave me some first aid things, so extra masks, pocket mask for children, band-aids, gloves. Oh, there's little, do you guys remember these? In case students lose their tooth, those little tooth holders. That is precious. Okay. I'll put our snacks in this Walmart bag, and then we can also use it to collect trash after they're done eating snack. These are the things you have to think about. There is actually a lot of stuff in here this time around. That's heavy. I was gonna charge my little voice amplifier, but it's gonna be rainy, so I don't wanna bring it, and I'm only gonna have a small group of kids. So my next task is to group my kids. All right, so next time I see you, I will have returned from the field trip, unless it gets canceled last minute. I really hope we can go. Cross your fingers. All right, you'll find out in 3, 2, 1. The day is over. We are back. It was a successful trip. We ended up going to this cool place. I'm local to Sacramento, so we went to Fairy Tale Town. So if you're local to Sacramento, you know, but it is so much fun. I'd never been there before, but it has all of these different like park areas that are based off of a different fairy tale. It's super cool. I did forget the Lunchable, but that's okay because I wasn't too hungry. I think it was also pretty early. I did take some notes today. One thing I thought was super fun is my kindergartners. This was their first field trip, and for a lot of them, it was their first time riding on the school bus. And so I made sure to take pictures, I think, of all of my kindergartners. That way I can send it to their parents. It's just like, oh, school bus for the first time kind of thing. I think maybe 1 or 2 of them have ridden the bus before, but I thought it was sweet, so I did that. And one of my kids, I was sitting next to her on the bus, and she just turns over to me and she says, "Remember that day you didn't have any makeup on? That was funny." And of course that was over a month ago. That was like near the beginning of the school year. And I was like, oh, that's funny that you remember that. I remember last year, pretty much every Friday or every other Friday, I would try not to wear makeup because I just didn't want to wear it. And I wanted them to like see my like face. So if I ever didn't want to wear makeup to school, they wouldn't be like, "Miss Call, why do you look sick?" But turns out I just always look sick. So they thought it was funny. And then the other funny thing was on the way back from the field trip, one of my kindergartners went, "Do we have a new mystery letter today?" Because we didn't do any of our literacy things. They literally got to school, gave them a coloring page, and then we broke out into our groups. I don't know if I told you this, but I made sure to take a picture of all of my kids head to toe before we left, just in case. I'm the kind of person who's like, just in case something happens. I actually learned this trick from like different moms, a what if situation. But if your kid ever goes missing, you should know like what kind of shoes that they're wearing, because if something happens, it's not likely that someone else would bring shoes. So I take a picture of my kids head to toe so I know what clothes they have on, what shoes they have on, and I have that picture reference. It's just something that it just makes me feel better. Even though Fairy Tale Town is like an enclosed space, you never know. It's good to have. So I do that. And then the sheet that I gave my chaperones and my aide had my phone number, my name, my phone number, my aide's number, school's number, just our little schedule, just 3 things. The snack time, the lunch time, the departure time. But then for all of my students, I put their little picture on the one sheet. I don't know, I can't show you. Their pictures are right above my thumb, right there. So they all had pictures of the students that were going to be in their group, and I hope that helped a little bit because some of them know the other students, but some of them don't. So I did that. I literally printed that out this morning because I was not ahead of the game. And then, yeah, we went on our trip. We had an amazing time. My kids thought it was so fun. I was able to split my kids into 4 different groups. So each group had about 4 or 5 students in it. And then there were certain times throughout the day where we would run into each other and play together, and other times where we would go off. And we have these, I don't know if I had one. I don't have one with me, but Fairy Tale Town has these little maps. And some of my kids I noticed were like trying to find places on the map and walking around with the maps, and I loved that. I thought that was super fun, but they enjoyed all the different play places. We were only there for a few hours, but it was really fun, and I'm glad that our day did not get spoiled because of the weather. I also made sure to take lots of cute little videos throughout the day because for my students at the end of the year, I like to do an end of the year class video. I didn't do one last year with my kids because we were virtual for so long, but I was just telling my aide, I regret it so much. Like, I wish I had done it, but it's okay. It is what it is. And then here's my special tip for you. My biggest field trip tip. On the way back, when you're tired, you're starting to get a headache, here's the secret. If you fall asleep, I will give you a Skittle. And guess what? Almost all of my kids actually fell asleep. At first they were pretending to fall asleep. Then they actually fell asleep. It was great. Wonderful. 10 out of 10 recommend. I also did pull out my sight word cards a couple of times. It came in handy whenever we were waiting to board the bus. We were all doing them together and it was fun. And I feel like doing stuff like that outside of the classroom, they're honestly more engaged than they are inside the classroom. So it was fun. We had a good field trip. It's the next day, but let's pretend it's still the same day that you're watching this. Let's pretend it's still Wednesday. I think I forgot to show you the writing that we did together about our field trip. So when we came back, we did a writing because I am who I am. And we called it Our Trip to Fairy Tale Town. And we basically just wrote this entire thing together. I had them help me sound it out, use our secrets. It says, first we got on the bus. Next we had a snack. Then we ate lunch. We played all over Fairy Tale Town. Last we came back to school. It was so fun. And I think I forgot to show you, so back to today. I don't really have anything to do here. I'm probably just gonna straighten up because I was a storm this morning getting ready, and I'm gonna finish eating my crackers and my Lunchable and then go home. A woman like you. Good morning. It is Friday Eve or Thursday. I'm celebrating with sprinkles on my cold foam this morning. You can't see, but if you watch my What I Eat in a Week video, you will see, and I'll show you how to make it too. Today again is going to be a really different day. I got here kind of late. I was just talking to my aide about our day. It is going to be a different day. It's going to be fun. We are going to do these creepy comparisons, and I have this vision in my head. I don't know if it's going to turn out, but I think I showed you it's going to be like a giant foldable. So we have all these little elements and foldy pieces that we're going to try to turn into a foldable. And if it works out, great. And if it doesn't, it's still fun. It's still fun. Try to show you. They can't see it. Is that for you?
Yes,
thanks.
yes.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Happy Thursday.
They obviously know that I vlog in the morning. Okay, so here's what we have going on for that foldable we're gonna do later. We have a lot, there's a lot going on. So kindergarten will be doing problem and solution, and then characters and setting, and they're gonna be doing all this through drawing. We might write like one thing on there. And then for comparisons, my first graders are going to write a comparison, and my kinders are just gonna tell what they have in common, because we're talking the rest of the time about things that are different. They're all gonna cut out these little bunnies, and they'll have like a section over here, a section over here, and a middle section. I don't know if this is gonna work, but I have a feeling it'll be super cute, so we're gonna try it. And if it turns out bad, oh well, I'm sure they'll have fun. Also, what's so funny about this perfume is it is not a super strong perfume. This is Ariana Grande Cloud. It's not a strong perfume. It's very light. It's very just like pretty. And sometimes my kids are like, Miss Call, I can't smell your perfume anymore. Like at the end of the day, and I'm like, okay, I'll go put some more on, and they're like, that's better. Until you ain't hungry anymore. If you could see what I see. My Finders Keepers collection. The state of my room. We had, I think, a really fun day, and I feel like my room really reflects that right now. Everything is a mess. This is the messiest that it has been all year, but we did an entire day full of creepy carrots, creepy underwear, showing what we've learned, working hard, making crafts, just the entire day, and I loved every second of it, and I'm not loving this part. Don't really want to clean any of it up, but I have to. Where do I even start? We started by reading Creepy Carrots, and again, I used Novel Effect with my little microphone, and I read the book, and we made comparisons as we read. I do have the Read Aloud kit from Primary Scouts, so throughout the book, I just used her questions, and I put those on sticky notes and asked them as we read, and then I asked a couple of more questions about comparing Creepy Carrots to Creepy Underwear. And then when we were done with that, we made a giant Venn diagram to compare the two stories. And this was really the first time that we've officially done it. We've compared stories before because we've read The Good Egg, The Cool Bean, but this is the first time that we've, I guess, explicitly done it, and it was hard at first, really hard for them. I was struggling to pull things out, but towards the end they were getting it and I was like, oh, okay. So I will show you our creepy comparison Venn diagram. I had it on my PowerPoint, like a picture of creepy underwear book on this side and the creepy carrots book on this side, so my PowerPoint was projecting, but we just drew it on the whiteboard and I left it up here all day. So in creepy underwear, these are the things that were just in this story. And creepy carrots, these are the things they come up with that were just in this story. And then in the middle, things that were in both of the stories. And again, my PowerPoint projected both up there, but at the end of the day, we did Wildcrats. And then the rest of the day, we were just swapping between kinder and first, and writing and drawing and describing and creating. It was a lot. And I feel like what we did today is stuff that we would normally do over the course of a week. Like the stuff that my first graders were writing, they normally write this much in a week, but they did it all today and they had the best attitude. Actually, let me back up. The first thing that my first graders wrote about was the problem in creepy pair of underwear, and some of my first graders get very emotional when it comes to writing because they don't feel like they can do it. And so when we first started writing, I actually had 2 of my first graders start shedding some tears because I was like, I want you to write your own sentence that you come up with in your brain and do the best you can. And they have a lot of trouble with that. They're great when it comes to guided writing and they need a lot of that, but I also am really trying to push them to do independent writing as much as possible. And the reason I've been so slow with it is because they don't have a lot of the skills that they needed. They couldn't sound out CVC words, none of that. Now they can stretch it. They just need me to say, okay, stretch it, and then they can do it. So we're working on the independence, but first writing was a little bit hard for them. And then later they got more confident with it. So they did a creepy carrots writing, they did a creepy underwear writing, and then they did a comparison writing. So both of these were done with me at my back table while the kinders were working, and I'll show you what they were working on with my aide. But they also did little flip books in there. Okay, so for creepy underwear, kinders did problem and solution just like the first graders did, but they did all drawing. And then for creepy carrots, they did characters and setting. So this is kindergarten. I am actually so proud of these. They did such a good job, and I was telling my aide who's working with them, it's like their drawing has come so far since the beginning of the year. I mean, I am so impressed with them. Really, truly am. All that fine motor work is so essential. Wow. Even some of my students who I could not tell what anything was at the beginning of the year, I can see shapes, I can see characters, I can tell exactly what it is. I am so blown away with the kinders. So all that was done in small group, and then we went to lunch and came back. Granted, this is like a big chunk of our day. Like I said, this is all we did today was just comparing, writing, drawing, talking about the story, all those things. When they come back from lunch, my aide is not in here because she's taking her lunch, but I did a group lesson with kinder and first grade. So kinders were drawing and first graders were writing, and I did this simultaneously, so I was literally bouncing between first grade and kindergarten. Basically for first grade we were writing sentences together, and then for kindergarten they were just writing the one word and then drawing a picture. So they wrote creepy and they wrote Jasper and they drew all of the creepy things about that. And then for first grade we did 2 sentences together, and then I had them come up with one other detail about the story. So they are both creepy. They both have the same characters, and then this person chose to say they are both scary. And on top of all that, we still did even more. We were so busy today. Like I said, this was such a packed day, but I feel like it was so fun. I was actually a little bit nervous in the beginning because one of the first things I had my first graders do is write, and like I said, some of them broke down in tears, and I'm like, oh, I'm kind of scared about how this day is gonna go. But once I mixed in the crafts with it, they were totally okay. So one of the crafts that they did were these creepy carrots, and I love seeing how these creepy carrots come out every year. I haven't done them with, actually I did do them with kinder, but I gave them a template for their body. This time I didn't. I'm not going to tell you which one's kinder and which one's our first grade. I will just show you the carrots that they made. Some of them I'm surprised, like little tiny little carrot. It's so cute. They came out adorable. Oh my gosh. And they had a lot of fun doing it. This did take a long time for the kinders to do. The first graders didn't take them that long. The kinders, it took them a long time, but I think they were really excited. I let them play with their carrots. They're gonna get to take them home. And they did a directed drawing with me for the creepy underwear. Okay, here are first grade's creepy underwear, and I actually got a picture of them like holding it. I said they can hold it up here or they can hold it like a pair of creepy underwear. Most of them wanted to hold it like creepy underwear, but this is theirs, and they're so funny. Look at this one. They're so funny. Super creepy. And then the kinders, we ran out of time, but it's probably better that I cut these out because they did work kind of hard on them. But these are the kinders creepy underwears that they did. So cute. We were going to hang them up in our classroom, and I was like, where should we put them? And one of my first graders said I should put them on the light so that they glow, and I was like, that's a great idea. That's a genius idea. So that's what we're gonna do. Might put together a couple of these. I'll do one right now just so you can see. Also, I want to see because it's super cute. I think we might decorate them a little bit more, like decorate the cover, but I'm not really sure what I want to do yet, or if I even care to do that, because the whole point is like to see it when it's open. I don't know. Wait, I totally forgot to show you the other fun thing that we did. We were going to originally, I got these Rice Krispies, and I got frosting, and I got these googly eyes. They're edible, like googly eye sprinkles, because I was gonna have them do ghosts. And I was like, wait a minute, rabbits are white. And so all I did was take a little plastic knife and I like cut halfway down the Rice Krispie treat like this. And then I just pulled apart the two top pieces so that it looked like bunny ears, and I showed them how to like squish the ears so they were round at the top. I'll show you. I don't think I have any more plastic knives, but I did like cut halfway down like this, and then I showed them how to pull it apart, and then we like squished the ears like this. Good fine motor, honestly, great fine motor. Squish the ears to make them nice and round, and then squish the head to make it nice and round. Squish, 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 and that's what the bunny looks like. And what I had on each of their little plates was this. Well, they did that part. And then I had a plastic knife, and I just got like the tiniest amount of frosting, and I put that on their plate just on the side, like it was on, like I scooped it with a little plastic knife, and then I gave them two googly eyes, and then we made it together, and then we went outside and we ate it outside, and they loved it, and it was so fun watching them eating it. They were like eating his eyes and eating his ears, and they loved it. I'm gonna eat him though. I messed up because I only put their number on one of their papers, and then my papers got all mixed up, and that's totally my bad. So this is a bunch of different students' work, and I don't know who it is, and I'm gonna figure that out tomorrow, but I taped it together, so I'm gonna have to cut it and then retape it. This is an example of a first grade one. My bad, I don't know whose is whose. But this is an example. So they have their problem and solution for creepy underwear, and then creepy carrot. Looks great. I just don't know which students they are for. I am so mad at myself. But it came out great. It came out great. So a couple of things. Number one, this was so much fun. If I was going to do this again, which I think I absolutely will, I think I would actually make this one of those times where I did a little room transformation and made it like a whole comparing week. I would probably try to put this skill in a little bit sooner, comparing stories, and then make this be kind of like the final comparison week. But that's okay that we did it this way because this is my first time doing it, and I literally got the idea a few days ago. Then the other thing I would do is I kind of bounced between books as we were doing it, and I think I would just do like one book at a time. Like my first graders were drawing about creepy underwear, and then they were writing about creepy carrots, just with the way that everything was set up with kinder and first grade, and I think that was just a tiny bit confusing. So if I was going to do it again, I would keep it very separate until we talked about what both of the stories had in common. It's been honestly like 20 minutes. It's still only 3:17, but I've just been sitting here because I was looking at some of their work all together. Like I sorted it all out, and I'm so proud of my kids because things like this, like I've been talking to teachers recently whose administration doesn't even let them do crafts, who have to tie everything like rigorously to the standards, and everything I did today is 100% tied to standards, 100%. We did nothing but work all day long. But just sitting here and like looking at the progress they've made side by side with some of the things that they did at the beginning of the year, everything that they accomplished today in such a short amount of time, and comparing that to what took us like 30 minutes at the beginning of the year to do one little thing. I pulled up their Class Dojo portfolios and I'm looking back at something that I posted a month ago, and I'm just blown away at how far my kinders and my first graders have grown in just a month. And it's hard because day to day you don't see it and you don't realize it. But even like with my kinders drawing, oh my gosh, it's night and day. All of that fine motor, that daily writing, the daily drawing we're doing, it all makes a huge difference. And it's even just the details that they're including in their writing, it's so much better. And seeing this today is just really, really rewarding. And even my first graders struggled to pull out a CBC word at the beginning of the year, a month ago, struggled to pull out a CBC word. And all of them are at least attempting to write a sentence. Some of them are writing multiple sentences, which some of them could do that at the beginning of the year, like 2 of them could. And right now I'm really working on that confidence, like I said earlier, but I'm absolutely blown away. And it's one of those things where you have to stop and step back and look at it from a different point of view, not just your everyday point of view, to really see the progress, because sometimes it can feel like you're not making progress. But oh my gosh, I'm so proud of them. This is another one of those reasons why being a teacher is just the absolute best. Like, the kids are amazing, they're super sweet, they make it worth it, but like seeing the change that can happen in a month, it's incredible. Anyways, that was our whole day. I hope I explained that okay. It's kind of hard to explain because we were kind of all over the place. Today felt like a Friday though. That's the only thing. It definitely felt like a Friday. And I'm really hoping we can go on our field trip tomorrow. I will be so bummed if we can't. But if we can't, then I'll just get a head start on assessments and we'll just have another just like laid back day. They can do some writing or drawing about their favorite part in the story, and we can do a people drawing lesson, and we will read more fun Halloween books, and they will have more time to play, and I can start on assessments. So I will see you on Friday. Also, giant cozy sweatshirt today. This is an oversized sweatshirt from my Etsy shop. It says, "Hi, sweet friends," in case you wanted to support. One thing I wanted to throw in here is I found these Post-it notes today, and usually whenever we do free choice, I give them the run. Like I've told you guys before, I let them, this is their classroom too, whatever they need to get, they can just get. A lot of times, ignore that. It's very messy. We didn't even play with the kitchen today. They'll play kitchen, they have like food in there, and then they love playing teacher. They love getting the Post-it notes over here, and I found some labels from when they were playing like kitchen or store, I guess, and they were like labeling the food, and I think that's so sweet. And that's why I love free play, because they are learning when they're playing. It's just so cool to see. Morning, it's Friday, rainy day in California. I hate driving in the rain. I hate that it's raining on our field trip, but it's nice to get rain. All right, so we have our field trip this morning. I actually don't even know the schedule of the day yet, so I need to ask a teacher and print that little paper I showed you for my chaperones. And I'm going to probably print some like pumpkin coloring pages for when they first get here, because I don't know, I just don't like to pull out like puzzles or toys or anything, because I don't want to have them like take time to clean up. So I'm just gonna do that. And now I'm turning the lights off because I need it to be a relaxing morning. By the way, this is how my tie-dye shirt came out. I had to redo it because the first time it did not work out very well. But now, it's kind of cute. Okay, so I found a cute little pumpkin coloring page. It's one of those Zen Doodle coloring pages, but it's pretty simple. And I think that they all think it's cute and like coloring. Upper class resources. I'm exhausted. Absolutely, utterly exhausted. This week felt like the longest week. It was a lot of fun. We did get to go on our field trip today. It was a little bit gloomy when we first got there, but it really didn't rain. I think it drizzled just a little bit, and it was super muddy, but that's okay. They had the best time ever. I did have 2 parent chaperones. I thought I was gonna have more originally, which would have been a big help, but I only had 2, but the 2 I had were pretty good. And so we just stayed together as one big group, and we walked all around the pumpkin farm. They got to do lots of fun things at our pumpkin farm that we went to. There's like a bouncy hay area. There's some like a barn maze and a slide. They have a carousel there. The kids got to pick pumpkins. We also got apple cider, and I also got them all taffy. It was just, there was a lot going on. It felt very go, 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 and we did it all in the morning and came back before lunch. So I got in, it was like 7,400 steps before lunch. So I was super, super tired. But the kids, they just were powering through the whole day. And they really liked it. So that's all that matters. They also looked so stinking cute in our tie-dye shirts. I'm so glad I did it. And even some of my parents commented, they were like, wow, that was a really good idea, because they really popped out from the gloomy pumpkin farm. So that was nice. We actually, the first thing we did when we got there was we rode a little train all around. So they thought that was super fun. I got lots of pictures and videos for our end of the year video. So it was just a really enjoyable trip, I think. Then when we got back, what did we do? I put on some kind of Halloween kids show on Netflix, and I pulled a couple of my first graders to start reading fluency testing. That is not going so well. This passage, it's from Wonders. It's called The Vet. Some of you might be familiar with it. This is what my first graders are doing for the first trimester for their fluency assessment. I've done almost half of my first graders, and most of them are not doing too well on this. It was a real struggle, but I have in my class, my first graders have very, very low confidence. One of them started crying during it. Another one of them is still sounding at words letter by letter. So it was a struggle for this, but that's okay. That's why we're here. Like I said, I'm still working on a lot of those basic skills so that they can become better readers, but it takes time. And I know with last year it was really hard, and they're missing a lot of things, and that's okay. And actually being a combo class, it kind of helps because I'm teaching my kinders those same things. So there's that. Next week is going to be a lot of assessments. Unfortunately, I have so many more to give, but that's okay. We did taste apple cider when we got back. We had a nice big jug of apple cider, and some of them really liked it, and some of them thought it was absolutely terrible. We also did a shared writing, but this time I actually let them come up and write with me. So I can show you some of it. I'll have to crop out the bottom, because at the bottom we all just drew like little pumpkins and they signed their names, but I obviously can't show you their names. So I'll show you the shared writing that we did. This morning I checked my box and I was so happy to see this. It is a "You've Been Booed" card, and I'm really excited about this. It says, "You've been booed. A little trick and a few treats from some friendly little ghosts who are quick on their feet. Let's keep the fun going. Visit a neighbor or two. Leave them some treats, but don't say from who. Once you've been booed, hang the sign on your door so those cute little ghosts can find a house that hasn't been booed before." You put this in your window to show that you've been booed, or you put it like in your, I think I put it on my window. And I actually wanted to do this at the start of October a few vlogs ago. I mentioned it and I never did it because I totally ran out of time, but I do have those little bags I bought, so I can boo someone with those bags that I already bought. So I'm excited to boo someone. And look at the cutie little tree. Oh my gosh, I don't even want to eat them because they are so cute. I love this. I think this is absolutely precious, and this was just the thing that I needed this morning after the little incident that I'm not going to go into detail about because it's not important and that's not what mattered from today. But my kids are totally wiped out, completely, utterly, totally wiped out. We did get muddy. I wore these duck boots and they got super dirty. But I never wear them ever for any occasion, so this is perfect. The one thing I do want to say is someone messaged me on Instagram last night and they were like, it was muddy when we went to the pumpkin farm too. Have your kids bring extra clothes just in case they get super soaked. And I did. I texted my parents on Dojo last night. I was like, bring an extra set of clothes, especially socks, so that they can change. And it came in handy because as soon as we got back, we went to lunch, but then we changed, so they had fresh socks, and I was like, that is the best tip ever. So I'm going to pass that on to you, so thank you so much. Since it was going to be raining, I did not bring my voice amplifier, but it did not rain, and this would have been so helpful on this field trip. This is actually why I wanted a voice amplifier to begin with, because field trips, you are straining your voice, there's a large area to cover, and this is just the perfect thing. So if you go on a field trip, I highly recommend taking a voice amplifier. I wish I had mine today. I did not. I did have my whistle on my lanyard, so this was helpful whenever the kids were like up in the treehouse. I just blew my whistle and then asked them to line up, and that worked out really well, but this would have been really great too. It was a busy, long week. I unfortunately think I am going to be here this weekend because I have a couple of things that I really need to get done, and I haven't really been able to stay any day this week. And today I'm going to actually the Cheesecake Factory with Kenzie, who I worked with last year, because I miss her so much. So I'm really looking forward to that, even though I'm so tired. So I actually need to get out of here. She will meet me at my house soon, and then we're gonna go to the Cheesecake Factory, and that'll be the perfect start to my weekend. So I want to thank you guys so much again for watching. Like this video if it was helpful, or even if you just like hanging out with me, make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss future videos, and I will see you in the next one.